The message is clear. It was on a rock and it said, "My boyfriend needs a kidney." But that's what's not so clear is why this was on a rock found outside an IHOP in the Triad. So we started digging, and after a few weeks, WFMY News 2's Erica Stapleton was able to unearth the story behind this unusual stone.
No one at the Winston-Salem IHOP knew where the stone came from, so I reached out to the painted email, and the response was not what I was expecting. It led me all the way to Elk Creek, Virginia, where I met two 21-year-olds with a bond as thick as stone.
The concentration, the creativity, the care. For Crystal Sparks, painting is more than just a passion, it's a plea.
2 years
Yes.
and a couple months. 2 years and a couple months.
This is Crystal's boyfriend, Robert Fallon.
2 years and
About 2.5 years.
But shortly after they started dating, their lives took a twist.
I was just in shock. First thing I could think of to do was call my mom. So I called my mom and I said, "Hey, they're putting me in an ambulance, sending me to Roanoke. You should probably come with me."
A trip to the doctor turned into news that Robert had kidney failure and stage 5 kidney disease. Now he's on dialysis 3 days a week and registered on a deceased donor list, a wait they've been told could take as long as 5 years.
I can't do anything but go dialyze and wait for a kidney.
That's where the rocks come in. Crystal hand paints a message on every single one, an effort to find a living donor, which can be a much quicker process if they find a match.
a lot of our friends have been really supportive about it. So I'll paint a box of rocks and I'll give them to a friend and they'll scatter them throughout their travels.
So far, they've heard of rocks popping up in New York, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and North Carolina.
Probably all the way up and down the East Coast.
They've gotten a lot of emails, but so far, no donor matches. Crystal estimates she's painted at least 300 and still counting.
I try and paint pretty rocks and then he decides he likes it, so we have to keep the rock and I have to repaint a different rock with the same thing on it because he wants to keep it.
The joy of something as simple as a stone
I think it usually looks really cool.
is something Robert needs just as much as a new kidney.
I try to keep a positive outlook about it and keep him positive, because if he's not positive, then it would be 10 times harder than it is.
Painting has really shown her true colors
Before he was my boyfriend, he's my best friend.
because it takes a gem to create some stones as precious as these.
That's what it means when you get into a relationship with somebody. You can't just walk out when things get rough. I mean, you stick it through the end.
Whenever someone sends an email to the emails found on the stones, Crystal actually sends them back a packet on how to be a living donor. It's a process, but it could very well save a life. We have a link on our website on more information.